Alright, now we're going to talk about how to do an advanced title card for the game. Now, since I don't have one handy, you can always do this after the game, but since I don't have one for after the game, I forgot to do it like that. This is what I do, is I just go, let me turn the sound off too, for the game, at least for my, what I do is I go, and I'll just play a random game. It really doesn't matter who I play against. You know, sometimes I play against your team, to be honest with you. Play an extra in the game. None of this matters, you know. I wanted to be home, though, because specifically for this shot, I want to go get a shot of Ted Williams. So none of this really matters. Actually, you know, it can matter as much as you want. Like I want to get it at Kaufman, I guess. And all I'm trying to do is get a shot of Ted Williams in the field, because that's basically what my video is going to be called. So start it up, and bear with me while this loads for a second. And you know, you might want to consider like a secondary Twitter account or something like that, because that's the next part of what we're going to do before we get into the Photoshop. Now, you could do this a variety of ways. You could do this after the game. You can go to, well, let's throw a pitch or something. Let's see if we can get, here, this will give us, like, this will work. This will just give us a quick highlight. So now something's happened in the game. But at the end of your game, you can always go to replay, replay vault, and then go get a specific shot or of a specific play or anything like that that you want. And we'll actually do that right here. Because we need to go and get a picture of Ted. So you can do this after the game, but if you forget, just, you know, start up a game. And then I like to, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up the shot. For this one, I kind of want to set it up so he's on the left of the picture, because that's kind of how I did my Cal one. And then just kind of like, I want to get that umpire out of the way, just because I'm going to end up putting a zoomed in picture over there on that side of the card. Alright, so now we got what we want with Ted, and we're keeping conscious of the fact that we need room for title and all that kind of stuff. So this looks good. And we'll hit save screenshot. And now I want to get that zoomed in on his face type of thing. So now we're gonna get that. And I want to feature that first baseman's glove. I think that'll look cool. You go all the way in. That's kind of what I did with the Cal one, but I want to go like right there will be cool, and it's a nice green background, so it'll be easy to cut out. That'll make sense later on. And so we'll click save screenshot here, and now we want to upload those last two to Twitter. And this is why you might want to make a secondary account. I upload them really quick, and then I take them down really quick, but I don't have nearly as many followers. I only have like 900 followers, so, you know, keep that in mind. But, and then no one will be able to see them either if you put them on a secondary account and link it with your PlayStation. Anyways, now this part's over. We're going to upload both of those to Twitter. And now I'm going to switch the camera. So I'm probably going to be off camera for this, and we're going to do the monitor capture and all that. So I think this, maybe this will switch it into the right thing. It might not, so bear with me for a second. I don't think this actually will switch it to the right thing. Alright, now we're on the monitor capture, which is what I want. Okay. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to go over to Twitter. Oops. Hit refresh. And we're going to use the snipping tool, okay? So you type into this box, snipping tool, and it'll come up. And what the snipping tool does, I'm going to open up Photoshop as well. What the snipping tool does is it allows you to basically copy and paste your monitor. So we got that saved, pixels 1280. Okay. And since this is the main shot, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit new on the snip. We're going to go a little bit into the inside so we don't get that black background. And then, bam, now we've snipped it, edit, copy. Actually, this is the wrong one. We're going to have to make this, just because this isn't exact. This is the clip I'm going to cut out and bring over to the other one. This 720 by 1080 doesn't matter as much on this one. But then we hit Control V to paste it in, Control T, so we get those little boxes. Move it in, and we're just gonna let that sit there for now. Let's do the snip on the other photo because that's gonna be our main background for the card. So same thing, new snip, up to the corner, just get a little bit inside so we don't get, you know, edges around it. Looks good enough for me. Edit, copy, go into our original, Control V, Control T, and we'll move this down like that, enter, and now we'll go back to Twitter, and I'll just delete this because I don't want people to see what it's going to be like until the actual clip drops. And so now we got our thing here. Now what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to show you how to use this magic eraser tool. That's what it looks like up here, and with this green background it'll be really nice. But what magic eraser tool does is you just can click around them, and you have to do a little bit of manual clicking. With this green background it really knows, but it just knows the colors that you're trying to get around it. It knows that you're trying to cut around it. And one little tip is to hit the delete button when you need to. See how it's gotten out of control? Sorry to move the speaker. If you delete that del, not the backspace, but del, like next to insert and all that shit on your keyboard, it lets you go back a notch. And then you just go around it and click. You can always zoom in. But you can see it's pretty smart. It knows it's looking for like the white pixels instead of the green pixels. You could zoom in more here if you wanted to, but you can always clean up this a little bit in post as well. So I'm just clicking around him with the eraser tool, and eventually we're going to get back to the beginning of where we were to make a complete circle around him. So I'm just going around and clicking, and you get the idea of this. But then I'll show you, since this isn't going to be the main card, and all we really want from this entire screenshot is just to be able to put this on the other page. We're going to end up saving this layer as a PNG, so it'll be kind of its own thing. Now we're going to go back across his body, and you can see how like the little darkness color, it switched to where it was supposed to go. We want to make sure it's all the way across the bottom here with those notches, and if you mess up on a notch, just hit the delete key and it'll go back. And now we've made the full circle, so we got them cut out like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to right click, and first thing we're going to do is go layer via copy. So now he's his own layer. that we can move around if we want to. You know, we can move him wherever. But since we want to move this back onto this and put him over here, what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to quick export as PNG. And we'll just call this Ted Williams close up. And there you now that's him. You know, I could clean it up a little bit. It's not perfect, but that's okay. We can use the eraser tool later to do that. Alright, so we're going to take him and we're going to go ahead and drag and drop him onto here. And I'm going to make him a little bit smaller just so we can I can fit my title up here. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and put the title in. Ted Williams at first base. Same kind of deal as before. You know, we're going to right click here. We're going to add outer glow of blue, make that thing pop out, or add stroke, but I don't want the pixels of the stroke too big, so I'm going to put that at like 2 maybe. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut out him, so I can show you how to do that effect of where you cut out these guys and you can change the background color of the field and all that. So same kind of deal. We are going to zoom in a little bit. Let's see if I can get this. Just because he's smaller in the picture, we can't quite get the zoom exactly that I want, but that's okay. So we're just going to go around Ted as best we can. Ideally, it'd be better if I could zoom in. You just hit like Control and plus and zoom in so you make this a little bit more precise. But we can clean it up in post easier using the eraser tool. So I'm just going to go around Ted as best I can. And it really helps, just like a green screen, not to have, you know, if it's just one solid color in the background, it's a lot easier. Because that's what the tool's looking for, is the colors. It's pretty crazy how good the tool is. But this is definitely the tool that sets apart Photoshop. One thing you got to make sure is you do put enough space between each click so you don't click on the same box twice. That takes a little bit of practice to get used to. Because once it links up, you know, once you complete the circle, it thinks you're done. Let me fix that part. Just hit delete. Get a little bit more precise. Alright. Whoops. And once we complete this circle around him, it'll be done. So there's our final click. And we missed his elbow a little bit, but still it'll be fine. Layer via copy. It says you can't do it there, and the reason is because we gotta have this main layer that we're going from selected. So now we got the layer 1 selected. Layer via copy, and now we have we can move this around, and he's cut out like that. But we're gonna leave him right there on top of the other one because it's just easier that way. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change the background color. So we need to go to layer 1 and we're going to click blending options. And this is kind of what I showed you in the other one. You know, we're going to go to gradient overlay. I'll probably pick some different colors so it kind of pops out more. That's not a bad choice. And you know, you can just hit new and you can save these how you want. I usually just go for, you know, crazy contrast. You can always search online different ones. I kind of like this one for some reason. Actually I don't, because that blue. I could show you the site online that I use. Actually, it's this UI gradients. Let's just go to a new tab. UIgradients.com. Sometimes I get inspiration from here for the colors. This might not be a bad idea to do right now. You can look through different colors that they have. Color combinations. Superman. Let's try Superman. I'll click this. I'll go back to Photoshop. This is like 2 colors, so this would be perfect. Paste in that color. Go back here, copy. And you don't have to do this. You can just, you can just put in, oops. You can just put in whatever you want. Oops. Let's delete that. Delete key. This was their color scheme that they had in that thing. I don't know. I don't really like it. But over time, you can save them. I need something that makes that blue glow pop out. And all done to, let's just do something like this. Let's just make a custom one. Let's do green. And then let's do like, I don't know, it's teal or something like that. And then if you hit new, it'll save that for you, so you can go back and use them. That doesn't look too bad. Let's just use that. Now what we're going to use to clean this up is, especially on him, is we're going to use the eraser tool. We're going to zoom in, and we're going to click the actual layer itself. So he was layer 2. And now we're just going to go around and we're going to erase a little bit of that stuff that didn't get cut out perfectly, just to make it look better, you know what I mean? Take out parts, go around the edge, and this will just blend it in with that, with the background. And you can go as zoomed in as you want and go pixel by pixel as you want. Make sure you let go of the mouse a couple times so you don't have to, if you mess up like how I messed up right there, when you edit undo, it's not like you didn't hold down the mouse forever, you know what I mean? You can just do like little clicks or little motions. And that's why it doesn't matter too much. That's probably too long to hold down the mouse. Just because now I gotta. And let's just even zoom in even further, just so we can get this done quicker. Stand more as much to the outside as I can. And it's pretty detailed. You can go as detailed as you want. Sometimes I'll spend like a lot of time on one. Sometimes I'll just get it done. It's kind of up to you how perfect you want it to be. I'd say find some balance between spending a lot of time and spending not a ton of time. Because at the end of the day, it only has to be so perfect. Like, it's going to be pretty small. Anyways, especially on mobile devices, this will be definitely enough speed for mobile devices. So you see when I have this layer 2 clicked, like I basically have this guy's layer clicked. I can't erase anything over here. I have to go and I have to click on this Ted Williams close-up, or I have to click on this layer 1. The Ted Williams close-up is actually going to be, I think it's going to be tougher to erase. Let's rasterize that. That's all we had to do is rasterize that. Now we can do the same thing to it. Sorry if that was confusing. Basically just said, do you want to put that on there? Now that we have that, we can erase around him, take away those edges, make it look nice. Let me undo that, because see how you can start to get pretty picky with it. Like, some of them I really spent a lot of time on, and just naturally you'll want to spend more time to perfect it. That doesn't look too bad. Let me kind of clean up his hat, make it look a little bit more rounded. And so what it's doing is it's just painting the gradient overlay from layer 1 on top of this image. So you can definitely fix, you know, how you cut it out with the magic eraser earlier. And you always want to with the eraser, because it's not gonna be perfect, and the eraser kind of saves a lot of trouble. Now we could do other effects to these two things. You know, we could go blending options. We could even add a stroke to these guys if you really want to see how well you cut it out. I don't like to add a stroke too often to stuff I've cut out, because it kind of makes it, I don't know, it kind of puts out the imperfections. I just like to put like a little outer glow. So that's what we're going to do on these two. Outer glow is nice. I really like it. It's easy effect. I have my opacity at 72. My noise is pretty down. Like, you could set this like, you know, like that, but I like my noise to be at 0 on it. So that looks pretty cool. The last thing we're gonna go and do is I want to show you one more thing that you can do if you ever want to put a card on there. You know, you could do the same technique where you go and you take the screenshot from Twitter and you put it on your Twitter page, and then you go and you use the snipping tool. But a really fast way to get cards on there, like, is just to go to Daddy Leagues and take a snip. That's really a faster way to get the card. So let's go to like players, show 16, Ted Williams. And sometimes you have to if they don't have the card up there yet. But you can always go and do a snip of that card. You know, edit, copy, and there you have the card. It looks as good as you're going to need it for a title card. Paste it on there. I like to put cards on there just because I think it's important to draw the attention of the game. Like, you know, it's MLB The Show. You know what I mean? So that's why I always put on an MLB The Show logo, and I always put on I like to put on cards. I don't really know if there's a natural spot for this one. Maybe we can move this Ted over a little bit and kind of balance everything. We can't move that guy right now, just because of how we've done this. Because we need him in that spot. And then we can add like that outer glow to the card. Then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go and get that MLB The Show title card that I showed you in the last video. And put that on there. Hold shift to make it smaller. And we're going to put this down in the bottom left, I want to say, if we can. It's going to be pretty small this time, but at least it's going to be there. Something like right there. I really don't even need the card. I kind of feel like I'd rather just have this. I can't really find a natural spot for this card right now. So I think I'm just going to take it out, but that's how you can use the card and move him over a little bit more. And then I told you the blending options I like you can do a lot. I used to do an outer glow of green on this thing. Oh shit. I'm going to hit cancel. I got the wrong thing selected. I used to hit an outer glow of green on this thing. Like, I do different things. I'd put like a stroke on it. I would always put like a white stroke on it like that. But I don't do that anymore with it. All I do is I put an outer glow on it. And the outer glow, I make sure the outer glow is white. I think that looks nice. So that's the advanced tutorial on setting up one of these title cards from start to finish. I hope this helps you out. Again, it's really easy for me, but I know there's like a lot of fucking steps in this. You might have to watch it a couple times, and then just always feel free to ask any questions. But yeah, I'm gonna upload it and upload the video, and I hope this helped you out, man. Peace.